Rightio, we're on here. Okay, guys, so just set the scene for the rest of the start. So it is 2 days after the last day of solstice. You have rested, you have been healed by the druids, you have healed yourself. The town is looking a little bit better shape. The stockade has been repaired, although the gates still need some work. They have gone through the outer farm and they have picked it clean or whatever they could. They attended to the burials, and Thodden this time has decided that he's going to, when he was also considering going back through to the Iron Swamp, he thought that enough is enough, and he's more happy to stay here and help this village and protect this village. So that is where he is staying for the present. And that sort of deals with his part of the story right now. So the rest of you were talking about heading down towards somewhere to send message to the druids before you headed back to the Iron Swamp.
How long was this ranger with us, Steve?
You found him in the Iron Swamp.
10 days, 15 days.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I wouldn't. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Yeah,
that guy.
Not trusted enough for me to send my message with him instead.
No.
We'll be taking that.
Yeah. So you have a choice basically of trying to make to Axe Head and hopefully find someone of Druid ilk there, or going to Smorgon, or even heading north up around Birchdale, around the Murder Forest, or Briar Hollow, Brentford. So you've got several different places you can go to, and they are, well, Birchdale is a little bit further, but it is all low terrain. You only have to climb into the hills when you get into the swamp, sort of thing.
Wouldn't there be a druid in the dwarven place?
In Rauros, perhaps, but do you have a druid with you? A dwarf with you?
No.
They only admit the dwarves.
Dwarves or possibly druids. Rauros is a closed city to anyone else.
We wouldn't necessarily need to go in if we could get a message to get a druid to come out to us.
It's entirely up to you if that's what you'd like to try.
Because that seems an awful lot closer than Birchdale and Axe Head.
Yeah, the closest, and I like myself and Ongan, we believe there would definitely be a druid there. Then that would possibly be a move.
And if there isn't, you can go down the river to Axe Head, you know. Probably easier taking a boat from Rauros to Axe Head than to walk all the way to Birchdale.
Or would there be boats available out in the city?
Well,
Anywhere other than the Iron Swamp, I'm up for. To be perfectly honest.
So Scott, until Josh makes an appearance, oops.
Yeah, Josh is here.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here, Josh?
Yeah, he snuck in.
I mean, Jacob.
Yeah, excellent. Rightio, cool. Sorry. Okay, so I won't give Ongan to Scott. Sorry, I didn't see you. Yeah. Sorry?
Just making sure you could hear me.
Yep. Okay, so that's sort of the story of where you're at. So it is the end of the second day, so you would be, if you're planning on heading out, you're heading out on the third day. And as part of that preparation, that would still take you about possibly 2 days, depending on what you encounter, because once you get to the Rauros isn't on the plains, Rauros is actually halfway up the side of a mountain.
Okay, actually, I think probably this would need to go to the group, like, because if other people in the group want to hit civilization before we go to the swamp.
Ongan just blue screen, just information, so he will be back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but it's the rest of the group. I think they probably could make this call for us, because if they're happy to go to the dwarves, then that would be my move. But if they would like to, hit real civilization before we go into the vast unknown.
Yeah, because no one here, apart from possibly the druids, might get into Wauros.
Hmm.
I shouldn't have any issues talking my way into Rauros.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, guys, so talk it over for that night, where you want to head to and the pros and cons of each place, and what you expect to do when you get there.
So, like I say, I mean,
So if it's been a few days,
2 days, yep.
how's the cloak looking? Not ready?
They probably can have it ready for you by the time you come back, if you're coming back this way. They have had other things to do, like, tend to the wounded,
Yeah.
do the ceremonies for the dead, clean up the place.
repair the
suppose.
buildings that have burnt down.
Mhm.
And we will be coming back this way,
Okay, cool.
as little as we would like to.
We can see Foden again. That'd be cool.
Mm. You can already see several of the girls of the village eyeing him up when he announces he's going to stay.
Fresh meat.
Mm.
Uh,
And for some of you think that actually might be more to do with his decision than anything else.
Drit is going to stay here and wait for everybody to get back.
Mm-hmm.
I might help out repairing walls or something if they need some labor.
Cool.
It's going to be weeks before we get back.
But
you're
we're
talking
going to relay a
from-
message 2 days from here, and then we're heading back to the swamp. Okay, so I must be misunderstanding something here.
It just depends
I
if we
think it's
find a
more than
druid
2
or not.
days.
Yeah, it depends if we can get a message from Morris.
From
If not,
Rauros,
then
or if we have to get it from...
Assuming we're choosing to go to Royal, that's the other.
Roughly, how long is the travel time from here to Rauros, or Axehead, or Birchdale?
Well, if you have a look, each hex is roughly 12 miles. So if it was just plains from Athead to Wauros, you could probably almost get there in 1 day, perhaps a day and a bit, a forced march.
What, 6 miles a day? Isn't it? No,
Depending
3
on
miles a day.
some
in
of you,
mountainous.
depending on your equipment and stuff. That's the problem. When you get to the base of the mountain, you then have to climb up half the mountain to get to Rauros, which is why it's going to take 2 days probably.
And something like Birchdale would take considerably longer, wouldn't it?
That's what X said.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
way
but the
longer.
thing is, with going Birchdale and that way, is you're coming into the swamp a lot quicker, and you don't have to bear going over the mountains again, which was quite hard. I didn't roleplay that, but I did say it was quite difficult.
So it might be worth more going to Birchdale if we have the supplies.
But if we come into the swamp from another side, we're going to have to travel through the swamp a lot
We're gonna-
further
yeah.
to get to
Well, no,
the
I mean,
carriage
yeah,
or find
you-
the carriage.
Yeah, you could travel down the path you did on the mountainside, coming through that in again, and then travel the same path but not go over the saddles, which was the more dangerous part because you're in snow and all that sort of stuff and bad weather.
Okay, that's maybe not such a bad option after all. So
we
how
have
many
an
days to
easier way
Birchdale
back
then?
I need to know who's the slowest mover, and then I can tell you. Anyone moving at 9? Anyone moving at 6?
All 9s.
Nines.
Let's see, what am I looking
No.
for here?
What are you guys meaning by that?
What's
And
your
it's-
armor?
And if we go out the mountains and alongside the mountains, it's what, 5 hexes?
I believe
5
I'm
and a
at
half,
9,
yeah. So
but I'm
60
heavy.
miles?
I'm moving
Uh,
at 9.
I'm moving at 6, I think. I'm heavy.
So
Is it
it
because
is 66 miles from Athead roughly to Birchdale. If you move at 9 a day, it takes you 7 a week, just over a week to get there. It will take you almost the same time, a little bit longer perhaps, to get over the mountains and straight into the swamp. Of course, you get to Birchdale, you still got to get the rest of the way, but potentially less dangerous. But it's entirely up to you which way you want to go. You've got
If we go
the sword of chaos, so who cares about danger, huh?
If we were to go to the dwarves, is there what are the odds of the dwarves having some kind of contraption that would be able to really?
I'm sorry, you don't have knowledge of that other game.
Yeah. Oh, that was imagination.
Sorry?
But
Yeah.
that was completely out of my imagination. I'm not aware of the game you're referring to.
Yeah.
But it was just a more dwarves are pretty folk. They may have
Yes, they are.
things that would do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, the one thing you'll know as a druid is that there is an agreement between the druids and the dwarves that the druids won't poke into the dwarves as long as the dwarves hold to an agreement from way back, and they have so far held to it for several thousand years. So one of the stipulations in that is that no one sort of pokes around with what the dwarves are doing.
Okay, so we wouldn't be, as a druid, I wouldn't be likely to know about anything
No.
they might have. That okay?
No.
In that case, probably more likely.
Because you also know in Rauros, that's also where they practice their dwarvish religion as well.
All right.
To the dwarves' gods, and it's about the only
so
place on the
it's
island that
not
anyone else does.
So it's actually not a given that there would be a druid there.
No, but considering that it's high sun, that it's just past solstice, it's possible.
More likely than not.
Chances are
This would be
higher
the
than
best.
usual.
Yeah, apart from a couple of days before solstice, this would be the next most probable day that they'd be there, apart from the Day of the Dead. The Night of the Dead, sorry.
In a large human, it's almost guaranteed they'd be there at the moment, right?
Pretty much, yeah. You could definitely guarantee they'd be at Axe-Head or Smorgon.
I prefer the guaranteed option.
Yeah. Well, Smorgon would definitely have someone because it is a major city.
Probably, well, yeah.
You could try for Axe-Head, they might.
Is that on the way? I can't really see my map.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at the map.
Well,
Is there an option to maybe find a guide for the river to take a boat down to Smorgon?
Yeah, Smorgon's all the way over. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You would probably, unless you're trying to get entrance to the headwaters, which means negotiating with the dwarves, because all of their ore and stuff is sent down the rivers. You know,
I mean, I do know written and spoken dwarf, so I can communicate with them.
Cool.
If we want to go to Rauros to get head to
Well, you
down the river in a boat.
yeah, you wouldn't have to go to Rauros because the river doesn't start there. It starts a bit lower.
Oh, I thought the spring maybe it started as a spring
Yeah.
up there. So
No.
How's the passage directly south of Axe-Head to the river? Like, we'd encounter most people across that river. So,
It depends on, so how's the access to the river? Well, you're in forest. Anyone knows there's more life in forest than there is on the plains. And you'll be traveling on water. And that's 1, 2, 3.5 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 3.5 hexes roughly.
So we'd be traveling faster. We wouldn't be using as many rations because we wouldn't be using as much energy to walk.
Hmm.
I mean, it's really up to you guys. I don't mind negotiating or anything like that with the dwarves. I'll just let you know I speak Dwarven. I don't mind negotiating. We could take a commissioned boat down to Smorgon if you want.
So it would take you roughly 4.5 days, just a little bit over half, to get to Axe Head if you just went by the land route. And as I said, it'd take you
Assuming
roughly...
everything went smoothly,
Mhm.
and we went to Roros, and there wasn't a druid, we took a boat to Morgan, how long would that take?
Depending on the state of the river. At this time of year, it's usually pretty safe, so they would stop at
Just
night.
say it,
So you would travel, just give me a second, I'll have a look how far you can travel in down the river. I'd say it's possibly a whole hex. So you might, but then you've got more hexes to travel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, almost the same distance.
Same time, you mean? Yeah.
So it'd be 2 days to Roros and then 4 days down from Roros to Axe Head. So that's 6 days.
So it would actually take us less time to walk to Axe Head.
Pretty much, yeah.
Unless we get to Roros and find the druid.
Yeah.
And, don't
And then
go.
you're just 2 days, and then you could be like turned around back at Head when you'd be sort of almost at Axe Head.
Yeah.
So
Right, we would
it's
still-
up to you guys.
Would we spend
Roros idea then.
less rations and water rations traveling by boat, not having to walk though?
No, you still eat and drink, so you still got to do all that.
Okay, so it's the same, but it's not.
It's just that if you were in the forest and you couldn't get a boat, you'd travel through the forest, and the forest would take a shitload longer. You
Right.
travel on the river, it's a bit faster, but you do have the risk of rapids as well as what's in the river, and you're wearing armor.
Unless we're not wearing armor.
Who
You
wants
did
to not
say the
wear
river
armor?
was considerably safer than at this
It's
time.
a lot safer during the summer than during autumn or spring. And
Right, when
during
it's thawing
winter-
out.
Yeah, autumn and winter, sometimes it freezes completely over in places, sometimes not. Actually, and it runs quite low because there's lots of snow and ice on the side of the banks. Okay, so let's have a look. Finally got to it. Sorry, guys. Okay. Barge. Okay. 4. Yep, you'd be actually normal ore, 1 mile per hour. You'd be traveling 8 hours a day. So it's still quicker to travel by walking through the plains to Axe Head.
But we still have the chance to get a druid at Roros.
Yes, 2 days before. Yep.
So it's either walk to Axe Head and bypass the Roros for the quicker, just don't take the chance, or take the chance and then travel by river.
Yep.
So it's really up to you guys whether you want to take the chance or not.
Well, based on the time of the year, this is the best time for us to. Well, this is the time where there'd most likely be a druid at Roros.
Yep.
I vote for Roros.
That's
Yeah,
what
my
we'll try.
vote's for Roros.
I think.
Okay, so I'm not going to know until I get there, and I'm going to roll the dice, and it's just going to be a 50-50 chance, so
Yep.
that's fine.
Yeah, but given there's a chance, and the travel time's not much longer down the river. Plus
And the river's
it'll-
safer.
Yeah, it's kind of safer in some ways.
Okay.
Even though there's the chance of danger, it's still there's a chance of danger everywhere at the end.
There's always a chance of danger, yes.
That's right.
Especially in,
Okay, guys. So, I just need to know if the spellcasters can just please write in under their names what spells they're going to memorize for the next day.
Let's see.
Those in?
I do believe I chose that before we...
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I did not.
this has been after the fight and that, so you might want to change up if you've got more to change up spells, because you know you're traveling instead of defending.
Okay, so I'm just going to do...
Yep.
I think I get...
So you're going to cast hit. Okay, Megan. Excellent.
I get 3 spells per day, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's do a... Affect normal fire.
Actually,
Burning
guys,
hands, and
Actually,
I am playing with an idea. I don't know how badly it would affect the game, though. I'm thinking that if you have multiple spells in a level, you memorize one and the others you can pick at whatever you need at the time. So you're always going to memorize one from each spell level. So I'm happy to start that tonight.
So what's that? You memorize if you've got three
So
first.
if you've got 3 first, you have to memorize, say which one you're memorizing, and then you can choose from the other 2 as you need. So it's sort of doing a bit of memory preparation and a little bit of
We can situationally cast.
Yeah, but not but you've got to have one definite that you've memorized for the day, sort of thing.
I'm assuming you're meaning for wizards as opposed to druids.
I mean, I have an idea of like why.
It's more for magic users, but you know.
The only reason why I don't really like that as that's personally as a spellcaster. There's another spellcaster here, so it's really I'd rather confer with him whether what he wants to do, because it doesn't just affect me.
No.
Well, if you don't like it, I'm happy to stick with the old system because that's the one that I'm used to.
Yeah, I'd rather just do that.
And if I had access to a whole spell book at all times, I would spend hours trying to pick a spell.
Yeah.
Every time not a good idea.
It would still be off your known spells.
Yeah, it has to be known spells.
I think during that fight I had effect normal fight, I had burning hands, sleep, and 2 pyrotechnics I memorized.
Okay, cool.
So I think I was able to use all my spells.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple others, but yeah. Okay, cool. And
yeah, I'm just gonna stick with what I had.
Yep. Okay, so 2 sleep, dancing light, levitate. Okay, and Halt and Ongen, please.
Normal fires and.
So I take it Tatwold is going to cast sneak and stay away from sharp, pointy things.
Hey, that's what I do best.
Awesome. Just checking in.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. There's my spell list.
Cool.
Oren's going to try or successfully cast and not die.
Excellent. I always think that's a good goal to have.
I'm gonna say forget the effect normal fires, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a charm person. So.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So instead of effect normal fires, it's a charm person.
Oh yeah, Megan.
Megan is casting hit.
Megan, you there?
Sid,
you there?
No.
Okay, never mind. I'll have to talk to him in a minute.
Okay. And Dave will be casting Buzzsaw.
Stab.
// hack //
I do believe that is level 9 spell.
Yes.
Actually, I thought that spell was Control Berserk.
Yes. Okay, radio. He can hear you, but he can't talk. Dan?
Oh, I just wanted to say thanks to Megan for making sure I didn't die.
Leaving his base.
Megan could just roleplay that like he has a big old hawk of ham in his hands as he's eating on call.
Yes, because that was not a savory situation, I gotta say.
Okay, let's see if we can find you a savory situation. Okay, so you head off the next day. So off to the right there. Oh, that's where it went. Take that off. Off to the right and down. Oh my god. Okay, let's try to get over there.
So what was the plan in the end? Roros and Access?
Roros. If we don't find them, then we go to Access.
Yep. So you all should see the Orby over here. I'll just take Mr. Thodden off. He's gone. So that's your marching order as far as I'm aware. Remembering that over from this side, because you're traveling south, over there is the mountains and over there is the plains. So are you wanting to stay there, or how are you wanting to rearrange yourself in this area here? Cool.
I could
try to get someone with
nearer
the
the front if you want, because I used to be carrying health, but his ankle's okay now, isn't it?
Yep. You guys put yourself wherever you want it. This is just my box for the marching order I put over here. And we'll fish you all with this Knowles.
I'm going to chit out in the back.
Those
Oh,
poor
so
crispy
fun.
knolls.
And beheaded and sliced and diced and
I didn't realize they were furry when I did that. I should.
excellent because there's more food to catch on fire. Okay, so everyone's happy where they are.
I'll say, where am I located at the moment, given that I don't have my screen up?
Oh. Yeah.
Who was the berserking crazy man?
Haim.
Haim is right here.
Okay, I'm behind him. I'm good.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
so
but
everyone's
I'm going to put on that Hydra. Sorry.
once you get it. Yeah, once you get it.
I'm going to put on that Hydra belt.
Oh yes.
No, the belt wasn't given to you though, wasn't it?
No.
Sort
Yes.
of.
The man was really friendly. He's like, "Hey, man, you did really well in that first competition. You should have this belt." I'm like, "Why not?" So,
Okay. So just going back over to, of course, Megan, that belt does look very nice to you. And didn't you just do a big favor for someone?
Oh dear.
Okay, so we are
yes, I
back.
did. Thank you.
Yeah, back over here at Head, heading off towards the next day with that marching order. So just let me roll for the wonderful encounters that may be coming your way.
Oh joy.
So it's an early morning. It's a nice warm morning. It's the sun rises early, as solstice is that like you're a couple of days after the longest day. So the sun is up by around about, I don't know, 4:45, 5:30. So you're awake long before then, getting ready to leave with the first light. So you step out for the full day. It's a warm day. So the pace can be a bit more brisk if you want. And you travel south, you see the open fields. Ooh. In the mountains, you see something way away. You can't quite make out what it is, but something's way up in the mountains off to your right. So as you move down, so you'd be roughly about here. Well, you'd be over here
Big and
somewhere.
shiny? Let's go.
No, not big and shiny,
No,
but something big that's moving in the mountains. So you're probably thinking some sort of giant kin.
Yeah, we
They
can
do sometimes roam in the Serpentine.
keep as calm and quiet as we bloody well can and away from that. Thank you very much.
Well, it's not heading your direction. You just notice the movement up there. But to notice that movement, it would have to be pretty big.
It would have to be pretty big, right?
Yeah. And
Still,
so
steer
you will,
clear.
yeah, you will finish the day roughly here, which is about a mile short of the base of the mountain. So you'll start the climb the next day and should be able to reach Roras. But I just need to make one more encounter for the daytime hours. Your day has been very uneventful, apart from that one sighting. You can set up camp out here in the plains.
Is there an optimal place we can set up camp that maybe has a vantage point?
There would be a couple of dells, a couple of dips and small rises, so you could set yourself off into one of the dips and have someone closer to one of the rises. They don't rise much. We're talking like, 8-10 feet. Not a hell of a lot. There is the odd bit of brush, but it's more tall grass that grows up to around about 2 feet. So poor old Ongan there, he can just barely see over the grass.
Means that no one else can see me. I'm not complaining.
All good. Okay. Yeah, and Tatwell probably has a very astute lean on him right now. No. Closer to the ground, closer to the ground.
That reminds me, I was hunting javelina in Arizona one time, and this damn pig had his head behind a bush like we couldn't see him with his ass sticking out. It doesn't always work that way.
No. Not always. So that's been the day. It's actually been quite enjoyable to move away from Adhead for a while and just have a pretty easy day of it. So camping and shifts, please. Who's doing what to set up camp?
Midnight shift.
Okay.
I guess I'm
Camping,
doing.
I'm going to go see if I can hunt something down for food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm managing the fire,
Rightio.
so finding dry wood, things like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're close enough to the forest and get brush and all that sort of stuff. You will find enough wood for a small fire tonight. Nothing too big, something to cook and something perhaps to keep embers going through to the, not all the way, but to the early hours of the morning. You could quite reasonably expect it. I mean, if they put it in a pot, if someone's got a pot, then the embers might last longer.
Just going to have a hunt around for a few components, Steve. Bit of mistletoe.
Mistletoe is not available here. You'd need to be in a forest, and the best mistletoe isn't in the greenwood. Yeah. Yeah. So you can, if the, so was that both the druids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can both the druids please give me a 4d6 roll versus your wisdom, and how much by? Either over or under.
That's under by 2.
Under by 2. Are you over or under, matey?
I am over.
Over. Okay. So
Does
Helt doesn't find anything. Yes.
does Helt want Haim to come along hunting, just in case you find something big and Haim protect?
I'm the one
Or
going.
would I be like interfering with your druid powers?
Steve.
I'll come along then.
Okay. So just before you go, you said 2 under, Ongan.
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to find some amaranth, otherwise known as red coxcomb or love lies bleeding, which is an astringent and an anti-hemorrhaging herb. So you cut it and take it for should someone start to do lots of bleeding. It's a thing to stop when people are going under 0 hit points and under -3 and start bleeding. You put that on and it stops the bleeding.
Yeah, collect as much as I can without hindering the plant's ability to grow back.
Yep. That's all cool. And the other thing you find is some wild chives. And chives is generally good for colds, general diseases, and the evil eye, it's supposed to be. So for the cold, it's made into a soup, a broth. For general diseases, it's eaten. And for the evil eye, it's boiled in an oil, and the oil is applied around the forehead and temples of the person and over their heart to protect them from the evil eye. So you found some wild chives there as well.
What the hell is the evil eye?
Oh, well, somebody will know when they get it. The evil eye. Well, evil eye is like when somebody curses you.
All right.
So soup was for colds, and just generally eating it was for what again?
General diseases, like general sort of like you might have a parasite, you might have an infected piece of skin or something. It's a general boost to the system.
So it's just an immune booster, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a booster shot.
Okay, Jacob, can you give me a 4d6, please, versus your intelligence?
That's under by 2.
Under by 2. So you happen, not perhaps incense, but you do find some wild chamomile, which when Ongan or Helt knows that it is also useful for ear and toothache and some nervous conditions. And quite luckily, you find some ginseng root, which is supposed to be good for dizziness and headaches and general weakness and vitality.
Makes a really nice tea.
So that can be applied as a poultice. That can be applied as a tea. It can be put into food as a general sort of booster sort of thing. So lots of those sort of things. So no incense as such, but you find those sort of herbs. So they are flavoring herbs, if you like, with some other abilities here. Lincoln, did you want to do something?
No, I need to wait until it starts getting dark because are we reasonably close to the river?
You would be about a mile and a half. You're about a mile-ish from the forest eaves, and the river, by your reckoning, by how everyone's described it, would be roughly a half a mile into the forest.
Okay, so a bit too far to walk by myself then.
Well, no, but you'd be getting back quite late, and it would be dark.
No, that's the idea. Is I want to go looking for glowworms, but
okay.
I'll wait until we get to exit and just buy some. Or find some.
Okay, but if you do go down the river, you might find some because they will stop on the nights. Sorry, Scott?
Did I heard it was a bad idea to go wandering off by yourself in the dark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the watches. So I've got who said Haim is anyone who said he'll take the midnight watch.
I usually take the first shift.
All right.
I'm usually somewhere.
And
in
I
the
think I
middle
take last.
because dark vision. What?
Yep.
I'll join Haim on the midnight shift.
Okay.
I'll
Having
join.
got
I'll join on the.
in
I'll join on
hang-
the
in
first
the,
shift.
not in the hangout,
Okay.
sorry, in the thing there is
So-
actually a
Yeah, there was.
Standard.
We had a list, didn't we?
Yeah.
in the
Standard
roll
watch.
20 chat. Yeah, I do have a.
Okay. Don't know where it is, sorry. It might be really far up. But at the moment, we've got Thorin and Drit, who is taking the first watch, Haim and Tatwell taking the middle watch, and Megan and Ongun taking the third watch. And you guys can swap around.
Sounds like the perfect kind of shift roster.
It means you take some next night. You and
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah.
And
I am.
Yeah. Okay, so two things. Can I please get everyone to roll very slowly? Here, let me think. So, Megan, Thorin, not Haim. Megan, Thorin, and Tatwold, roll 6d6, please, and compare that to your wisdom.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
I'd just say I fail.
You don't know. You might get 6 ones.
Ooh.
See, look at
Not
that. You got a
likely.
17. But that's over by how much, Dan?
Over by 9.
Okay, and Torrin is way over, and Megan is way over. Okay, 5d6 for Helt, Drit, and Haim.
16, I am over.
Somehow I'm under.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
I'm over by 3.
Over by 3. Under by how much, Haim?
1.
1. Helt, way over by...
Amazingly, yeah.
Oh, not Helt, sorry. I'm talking about Hreth. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Hreth, 5d6.
You're Haim.
Are we still
Hey.
in ley
so
line
that's
territory?
over. Yeah, that's over.
You're over. Okay. You're actually... I'll tell you that in a second. And then the 2 druids, 46 versus your wisdom, please.
That is exactly my wisdom.
Cool. And again, can you do it again, Helt? So this is only 46.
Aim, you want some jerky?
Oh, I'm under.
Oh, good God!
Okay, radio.
Oh yes,
So
please.
those of you who got
Yeah.
under,
Yeah.
you had a disturbing dream, but you were aware it wasn't a dream. It was something that somehow was like thrown at you. All the others, was anyone in the 5 or the 66 who actually survived, who made it?
No.
I
I
thought
doubled.
Hein did.
Haim.
Yes,
Okay,
I
so-
totally did make
Yeah.
it.
No, you didn't. So Haim and the 2 druids. You guys are aware of this, okay? So I'll give it to you in a second. All the rest of you, you experienced a really bad dream. Really bad dream. You were in a very familiar place with friends, family, accomplices, friends, whatever. People that you work with or people that you love and you know, all that sort of stuff. The people that you were with were slowly being pulled away from you. You were held by something. You were powerless to do anything. The other three had the same dream, but you were aware that this wasn't a dream. This was something that was pushed at you, so to speak. The rest of you had a completely different experience. You felt totally helpless. You lost important people. When they were pulled away from you, they died in a variety of ways that were very graphic. This happened for the other three, but you could sort of see through it, and it didn't have the same emotional impact. So when you wake up in the morning, you'll all have had this experience. That's the first thing. Chaim, you are on a ley line. You are directly sitting, standing on one. You have direct connection to one.
I mean, if it's that bad of a dream, I probably wake up screaming.
Okay, well then you do. This is what happens through the night, guys. Luckily for you guys, nothing actually comes towards you during the time. So in the morning, you all wake up a little bit disheveled, a little bit like the whole shine of the day before is really gone from you. You all sort of have shared the experience, so perhaps not in great detail, but you've all had the same dream, and the other three can tell you that what they felt about it. I don't know if you want to do anything else more from there.
What could have possibly caused this? Is there any magical thing that I know of, or enchantments, or?
There are several magical spells that could do this. There'd be several magical items that could possibly do this. Yeah. In your travels, Freth, you've even heard of people who have an ability with their mind to do this without magic. Ring protection gives you a +1 to saving throws and a +1 to your armor class. So that's the experience you guys had. Very unsettling. Except for the three that I said before, you sort of can see through it. But you still experienced it.
In the morning, I'm going to very carefully talk to Helt about this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to be too careful. We can just talk through it.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of want to know.
Do I remember this dream, or is it kind of I wake up out of it and I don't really remember it kind of thing?
No, everyone, this dream, well, for those the three that didn't save, it's very vivid, and so vivid that you can remember great details that we wish you couldn't remember. The other three, it was very much, okay, it was a dream, but it was something a little bit different.
I'm just going to announce, like, hey, I had a badass dream last night, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like trash this morning. And I'm going to leave it at that, just in case anybody wants to go from there.
Yeah, my dream was actually of something a wee while ago. Wasn't that nice.
Right. So in this dream, just to make sure you guys know, apart from seeing your loved ones and your associates being ripped from you, you yourself weren't harmed. It was all those around you.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a deterrent to me. This isn't druidic to Onward.
Yeah, no, that's. Yeah. Interesting.
I'm not sure what would be deterring us from, given we're failing to see anything. Like, I'll look around for
as trusting as I am, this could be a direct result of everyone being in the vicinity of this sort of chaos.
It definitely could be. You're right.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. You two have a quiet little talk, and everyone, and Home comes to you and tells you of his concern, and that's pretty much it. Or do you go any further before you head off?
I'd like to look around, Steve, to see if there's any like signs of people, essentially. You know, tracks other than our own on the vicinity of the area. Any kind of broken twigs or anything.
Radio. Very difficult. You might be looking at tracks. You might be looking at animal path. You know. Unfortunately, your expert there is no longer with you. You can see. You're not really sure whether it's, as I said, an animal pathway or some person or persons or beings that have moved past through here. Something has. Not terribly far away from your camp. But you wouldn't have any idea of how old it is, whether it's very fresh or very, well, it's not very fresh. So it's a sort of an established sort of pathway, but that's about it.
You know your boy's coming in.
In that case, pack up camp.
Do the chamomile or the ginseng that I found, would that preparing either one of those? Because I don't remember what you said they cured or whatever.
Say that again, sorry?
The ginseng
chamomile.
or the chamomile would help with like that feeling of after waking up, maybe just lessen the effects of the...
Oh, okay. Chamomile, nervous conditions.
Yeah, well, I'll see about preparing this chamomile.
Okay.
For consumption.
So, as a tea? Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And I just missed the last 30 seconds because my computer crashed again.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
So just Scott's character just tried to have a look and see what he could find around the camp. He found possibly an animal trail. He's not sure whether it was an animal or being trail, but that's about all. And Jacob's
would imagine
character...
I'd probably be looking at the same things.
Yep.
I'm making chamomile tea for everybody.
Yep. Cool. Okay. So you guys, it's hard to tell without Thodden because that's his sort of area of expertise. Really hard to know. Some sort of trail, but you're not sure what's been using it. And it seems to be a fairly established trail, but not a well-worn one.
I wouldn't actually mention, you know, obviously we discussed our fears, and I think I'm just going to indicate that we should carry on. I'll talk to Olin and say, look, it's more important we just press on and get this.
Okay, so, Drit offers everyone some of this chamomile, saying it probably will help calm the nerves if people want to take some.
I'll grab some.
Cool. Okay, it's quite nice. A bit herby, but you know that's what it is. And then you head off in the same marching order.
No, I guess Megan doesn't want any.
No, he's talking about his dream.
No, I was talking about I don't need one.
Oh, okay. Rightio.
I live with the nerves.
Rightio. Oh, cool. So you tidy up and you guys just move on. I don't know if there's much talk today in a convivial sense, or whether there's just quiet little conversations going on between people. You start off again, sort of. Although today you sort of started off that the sun is definitely already above the horizon, but not high in the sky. You start off, you get to the forest without any issue. It looks like quite a pleasant forest. It's what would I say? It's not thick, it's not dense. It's quite a young sort of established, but a young sort of forest. You know, it's not one of these old, crusty sort of forests. Quite a vibrant forest. You can already see Tauren, because you hunt for that sort of thing. You can already see birds, and there's probably squirrels and whatnot amongst the boughs of the trees. As you're passing Freth, you can see probable worm boar from the glowworms, and as yet, Halt, you haven't seen any obvious mistletoe, but there is oak and acorn, which can sometimes be substituted for some spell componentry.
Trit would like to look around for any kind of incense that may be here in the forest.
Okay.
We have
I'd
Mojo
like
in the area.
I'd like to collect some of the oak and stuff as much as.
Okay, so oak leaf and some acorn. Yep.
Yeah,
And
just a
Scott?
bit.
Yep. All cool.
Just a few, not a lot, but yeah.
Yep. Just some in your pocket, just in case. Yep.
Yeah.
And I take it, Scott, that you'll be on the lookout for mistletoe. Yep. So you know mistletoe only grows in oak, so you're already onto the right track by identifying the oak.
I'd be looking for more as well because.
Cool. You do have a golden sickle, eh? Because to cut and to remain potent, the mistletoe has to be cut with a golden sickle.
Then I would say most certainly I would have had one.
Okay, so if you just want to make sure you've got it, because that would be a requirement, you'd know that.
Yep.
Okay, so can I get Drip, please, to give me a 46?
Under by 3.
Okay, so you do find it's not quite cinnamon, but a tree that is similar to cinnamon, the bark from. So you can perhaps harvest a tiny bit of that. You'd have to dry it first to be able to use it properly, but it can be burnt like a cinnamony sort of, you know.
I'll wait for our next camp. I'll just try to dry it out by the fire next time we camp.
Okay.
It may take a couple times, but I'll just do it overnight.
Rightio. Megan, you notice that there is quite a lot of animal life around you, as do you, Tatwell. Anyone else? Haim, you're feeling extremely ease in the forest here.
I like forests.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it sort of raises your spirits a little bit. Within about an hour of entering the forest, you actually can hear the water rushing. And you sort of follow an animal path to the river, and you can see upriver around about a quarter of a mile. You can actually see the fountain, the waterfall from which the spring issues to start the river. And it is quite a large waterfall, so the spring or whatever is attributing the water, it's quite a lot. Josh, you're having lots of problems, maybe.
Yeah, you got two of you.
Yeah. So you can see, as you get closer to the waterfall, there is a small town village. It would be perhaps a little bit bigger than Ahead, sorry. But it is much better defensed. It has a wooden wall. It has a stone wall. It has towers. It has crenellations. It is low. It's only about 15 feet tall, but yeah, this is definitely the handiwork of dwarves. And as you get closer, you can see dwarves. You can see the odd human.
Do we like dwarves? What's the deal?
Yeah, it's only
Dwarves get along with most.
It's the elves that we don't get along with. Okay.
Well, the elves and the humans have a distrust of each other. Some,
Yeah.
not all.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So we know which side of the bench you're sitting on. Okay. So you get closer. There is some people on watch. There's a couple of dwarves and a human. It seems that the humans, the Polish might, because he gets sent out by the dwarves to challenge you. He moves out about 20 feet, puts his spear in the dirt and points and just leans it out towards you, not poking it at you, just on an angle. And he Holt, name your business and purpose.
I'll step forward and say, druids in seek of another druid in the area. Are you going to challenge that?
Okay, no. It's sort of his whole resolve sort of disappears at that, and he becomes very apologetic. Oh, and, most sorry, my lord. Please, and you can see behind him the dwarves are sort of going, clucking and touching and sort of going, oh, here we go, sort of thing. But they do afford you politeness and courtesy. And as you approach them, one of the dwarves stands out and says, I am Durgon, the son of Iron Butterball. Do you swear good fellowship for your companions?
I do.
Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. You're going to have to know they're there, Dave, to actually do
so
it. Yeah. It's
because that's
usually
something I would have otherwise done after the dream, is see if anyone's in range or.
Yeah. No, you'd know if it was that.
Okay.
And Druin says, welcome, Megan, so of a bitch. Good to meet you.
Shit.
They're a little bit surprised at Drit. They sort of look at you and sort of answer you back in Dwarven, and then correct themselves in Common. But as long as the Druids are swearing your fealty, your goodwill, you're allowed to proceed into the town. This is the town of Stonewall, or the village. The station is what they call it. The station of Stonewall.
Okay. Oh, pardon me.
Yeah. So you're given entrance.
The first guy I talked to, Steve.
Yeah.
Have you seen any other druids there recently, or are we the first in a long time?
No, there were druids here helping to celebrate High Solstice, the humans. But they have all left. They have all headed downriver to Smorgon to meet with their brethren.
Well, I'm gonna let the party. Drift's gonna let the party know. I'm going to the market to pick up some supplies. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's lots of manufactured stuff around here. Most of it being heading out to Axted and Smorgon, but you could pick up some really good deals on weapons. If you're allowed to own it, metal armor. You can see several suits of metal armor that have obviously been commissioned.
Specifically, I'm looking for like a butchery.
Yes, easy.
I would like to buy some fat.
Certainly. Okay, so fat. Now, if you've had a look in the Dropbox, guys, I've found a basic equipage and supplies cost and encumbrance. So you might find stuff on there, or the equivalent of. So just having a look. So I'm going to say that 5 coin weight of like candle wax, I can't see fat on here as such, but like candle wax, 5 coin weight, but it will cost you double, 2 copper pieces for 5 coin weight of fat.
Okay, so 5 coin weight.
Yep.
I don't think
that's 5. Sorry, that's how much it weighs, and it costs 2 copper pieces, which is 2 centi.
That should be enough for my. It just says instance herbs and fats. So I mean, that's plural, so I'm not quite sure how much that's supposed to be.
5 copper pieces worth would be equivalent to 5 uses.
We'll just go. Well, yeah, it's 5 weight. No, that'd be 10 weight. No, we're just gonna go with the 5 weight of the fat, and then you said it's gonna be 2 copper pieces
for the cost. Yep.
I'll just say 0.2. 0.02 actually.
Do you have any decibar?
Do I have any what?
Decibar.
Decibar. Oh yeah, the
Centibar. Sorry, Centibar.
I thought I had some Centibar. Let me see my wealth notes.
Because this is the Dwarven Kingdom.
I've got 3 bar, 7 quantibar, and a core medallion.
You didn't want to tell the other people about that.
Well, I'm talking to you. They don't know this.
Yeah,
This is-
okay. So you give him
You
the,
sure about
the
that?
bar. Yeah. You give him the Tatwald's eyes.
Well, I'm
light
not
up.
quite sure because you were saying decibar and there's like
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
bars.
There's
and shit.
100 decibar to a bar. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to
I've
break
got
a bar.
Centibar to a bar, 10 decibar. To a
Sorry, 10 decibar, 100 centibar to a bar. Yeah. So
Okay.
you got 9 decibar and 8 centibar out of that.
Multi-bar.
Multibar, yeah.
9 decibar.
Multibene. Yeah.
How many centibar?
8. You got 8 left
So,
out of 1 bar. Yep. So, and they are very happy to deal with you because you're dealing in their currency.
Okay.
So he throws in just an extra bit of fat for you, and he even wraps it up in some waxed paper for you
for a 5 weight. Okay.
for 6. So you got 6.
6.
Yeah. Because normally he's expecting to use, have to change money and that sort of stuff.
Let's see. Is there anything else? I mean, if anybody else has something they're wanting to do, I'm just trying to go through the market here and look for things I need.
Okay. So you're looking through a market. Most things are here.
Can I find a brass brazier? Or brass brazier? Yeah.
Brazier, yeah. They cost 100 gold, piece equivalent, which is 100 bar. Your medallion only is worth 25 bar, so
we're good.
Yeah. But there are several here, but they, as I said, cost 100.
Okay, that's going to be a little out of my price range for now.
Yep. Okay, the rest of you. So you're looking for druid. So if we can, anyone else doing anything else?
Steve, do I know any do I know anyone that can do the whisper thing?
Your father would have been able to contact another Golg to teach you the skill.
Would he have been nearby the druid?
He would have been
Base
down
in
the southern base, but so he's miles away now. So, and you've
Oh,
only got
so-
a range of whatever. Yeah.
Ah, okay, so it's not as
Yeah.
okay. No problem.
Yeah.
How much for the various armors? I'm gonna ogle over the armors and drool a bit.
Okay, so pretty much standard cost. So you can see a set of full plate. We're talking full plate, the best you can buy. That would normally cost around about 4,000 gold piece worth, or 4,000 koran. You can see some ring mail that would normally cost, if you could buy it, around about 30 koran. But you do see stuff that you can purchase if you wish. So there is splint. Sorry, not splint. What you can buy? I'm not sure. But there's studded and there's leather and that sort of stuff.
No, I'm ogling over the metal
Well,
one.
the full plate is actually beautifully ornately done, with lots of what you interpret as being like plant, like fleur de lis sort of things, which you think is quite nice. Probably is somebody's standard or crest, but it's appeals to you. And it has a particularly wonderful in the center stylized animal head. Not sure quite what it is. You've never seen that sort of animal. Sort of a roundish face, which is ringed by a fur band, and it sort of has 2 extended fangs on top of its jaw. Not sure exactly what it is. But yeah,
Well,
it's very impressive.
Haim lent Tat some money a while ago, so I'm wondering if he can return the favor and loan me 3,998.
You know how much that is, right?
Haim doesn't know. Once he goes over 50, he's lost. I'd guess. Would that be right, Haim?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Hey, pulls out a handful of like copper pieces like this.
Josh seems to have something wrong with his computer. He won't be back tonight.
Okay. Well, cool.
Unfortunately.
No, he's in roll 20.
I might have a chat to some of these merchants, Steve, and see if any of them would be interested in, 'cause since we're going to have to head back in this general direction.
Well, you haven't got to Rorus.
In,
This is only Stonewall.
No, I realise that, but
Yeah.
if we do have to head down the river, which isn't confirmed yet, if they would be interested in perhaps us caravanning
passage?
some of their wares to providing security for a shipment of wares.
Okay, so you're looking at someone. Okay. Hello, Josh. Goodbye, Josh. Okay. Megan, you look around. There is no gambling hall, but you do find a particularly auspicious dwarf-sized drinking hall.
Yeah, but I'd have to hunch.
True, but once you get through that door, probably could stand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And and dwarvish ale is, because they also do a dwarvish honey mead, which is known to be very strong and tasty.
Yeah, the thing is that I need money.
Yeah, no, not in the Dale of Rorus at all. It's just Stonewall is what it's called. Stonewall Station. You do need money, yes.
So yeah, I'll go in. It's either that or try to make some more soul bitches.
Okay. Well, you go in. You're a pretty imposing guy. You've got your big, huge wolf cloak on. Remember, you got your cloak.
Yeah.
Tatwald, you would have to know someone in this place first of all. So unless you find someone that you're already aware of, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you can look. You'd be a very low chance, but you've got the option.
Yeah, I'd like to look.
Okay, just give me a second.
Maybe you
Megan.
could get lucky and find one in the dwarven hall.
Would Tatwell be stupid enough to go in there and... No, well, who knows? Okay, the dwarves are drinking, singing, enjoying their ale. The barkeep cleaning a sturdy pewter mug. Looks up at you and smiles at you. Bearded dwarvish guy, very big-chested, with a bigger belly, and says, "What'll be your poison, my friend?"
Just mead.
A mead, a honey mead.
Sure.
Honey mead. Aye. Well, he says, now you do know you have tasted our honey mead before, haven't you?
Nope, never have.
Okay. Well, it's very good. But there's a thing. Not to put too fine a point on it, our dwarves' constitution is a little bit more heartier than some humans. Not saying yours isn't, my friend. Just saying, in general.
Right.
So
I'm not a
what we like to
man,
do here is we have a little wager. You get half a pint of mead to drink for free. If you're still standing after 5 minutes, you can buy more. If you fall, you have to shout a round of drinks for everyone.
This must be some strong shit.
Yeah, I know, and I've got barely any money, but I'm not saying that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a chance of a free drink.
Yeah.
Also a chance of dwarven writing.
No, I want a game. I want to get money.
A game of chance. Sorry, no, this is a drinking hall.
All right.
You won't find a game of a hall of chance here. Sorry, my friend.
Well, do you know where the whores are at?
Where the whores are at? I'm sorry, my friend. This is a difference between dwarven and human culture. We don't engage in that sort of activity.
All right.
This close to our homeland. There might be some of our brethren who do when they're in more human-centric cultural points, but here, no, we don't.
All right, I'll go over to the human area, see if I can find something.
There is no human area. You mean whatever. To the humans? Okay, right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, cool. So, Tatwold, can you
Yep.
please, on a percentage,
Mhm.
give me an int roll?
So D100.
Yep, int or less. Wow!
Wow.
That is 1 over.
Oh, no, but
Damn it.
But you do notice
Mhm.
some people conversing in Thieves' Cant. Now, Thieves' Cant isn't just a spoken language, it's also hand signals and stuff. And you
Okay.
do pick up a few little hand signals around the market. So you are aware there's at least 2 people
Mhm.
here
Okay. Cool.
who are gifted with the art.
Cool. But also dangerous.
Yep, you don't know who the second person or more is. You've identified the one.
Okay.
So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
I might go for a search tonight.
Okay. Back to you, Scott. Can you please give me a charisma check on a 46 plus any charisma bonuses? So you increase your charisma by your bonus. So if you've got a +1, that means your charisma is a +1 and you've got to get under.
I don't know how to calculate my bonuses.
Okay.
What's your
Well, no,
charisma?
someone can do it for you.
I think it's 18.
Charisma is 18,
Yeah.
so it's like a +2 or
I'll have
+3.
a quick look for you. Have a quick look.
I think 18's +3.
Yep, 18. So 46, 24 is the only thing you're going to fail on.
24.
Yeah, 24.
22 or 23 would be.
You had to be a
18.
20.
Oh, sorry, 22, 23, 24. Yep.
Hmm.
So you got a really good chance.
Are you able to roll, Scott, or do you want me to do it?
I'm getting there. So my wireless keyboard just died. Was it?
46.
46.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll just go back to Megan. You go talk to the humans, and yeah, apparently this is the sort of deal. Although they are, there's some human guards and various caravan bodies. They'll be gathering at a sort of pop-up drinking spot, and a couple of them have some cards and dice later tonight. If you wish to meet them, they can tell you where to.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Help, you do find a gentleman, a human, a merchant from Smorgon. He will be traveling in 2 days down the river. He is willing to give you passage on his ship and provide you with 2 meals a day, each person who is prepared to defend his passage, his carriage, so to speak, his portage. That also means if they should need to lift them off the water and move them on land, that's also part of your job.
Yep, at a 2% cut.
Yep. So he's happy for that. He has 7 barges.
All right. Yep, we can do that. So 2 days. Does that give us time to try Ross?
Yeah, you can get there easily tonight.
Okay, cool. And yep, we'll let him know as soon as we return from Ross. Confirm then.
Oh, he wants a deal now. He wants to know if you're going to do it or not. Otherwise, he's going to have to look for other people.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we can commit to that at this point in time. But if he's still looking when we return from Ross, then
Well, perhaps.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys, do you head up the long road that heads up towards Roros? You can see up the road. it zigs and zags up the mountain. It goes through under several archways. It's all carved wonderfully out of the rock, all dwarven style, paved rock, all that sort of stuff. There's carts and wagons and things moving up and down. It's quite busy. Yeah.
Didn't they say that all the druids had left for after the solstice here?
From Stonewall.
Stonewall. There's still a chance to have one of Roros.
In Roros, there's a possibility, yeah. That's roughly half a day's walk up the hill, mountain.
I mean, I'm going to catch back up with the party here because I was in the market.
Yep, so. No, that's so cool. Well, they haven't left yet, so you've had a look around. There's, you know, all sorts of things. There's hats and some nice looking cloaks and all that sort of stuff. Do you have a winter cloak? A cold weather cloak? Because the group have been talking about going back over the Serpentine, and you will need that for survival.
Let's see. No, I think I'm going to have to pick one up.
Okay, so cloaks are clothing, a winter cloak. So you can eat. Whoa, they're expensive. Cold weather clothing is 7 koran or 7 bar, and that gives you a whole set, which will protect you from frostbite and all sorts of other stuff. Feet down to your hands.
Okay, and quant bar is more than bar.
A quant bar is worth 2 gold. No, a quant bar is a platinum piece.
Platinum 5p, 5 gold.
Yeah, so a quant bar will be fine. Plus 2 of your bar.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll just go down that.
Cool. Okay, but that does add 250 coin weight to your encumbrance.
Fuck, that's heavy.
Unless you're wearing it, and it doesn't. Yeah, that's the problem. What I am going to do, guys, is whatever you can put in your backpack. I'm going to take something out of CNC, Castles and Crusades. Anything in your backpack actually weighs half for your encumbrance. If it can fit in your backpack, you can. So your backpack can take 300 coin weight, I think, or 400 coin weight. So technically, you can fit 800 coin weight up to in your backpack.
Oh, sweet.
But if whatever you've got in there now, you have it for your encumbrance value.
Okay, so let me change this, see what I'm going to be at.
Yeah. Okay, so you're dealing with your cold weather clothing stuff. Anyone else wanting anything else here before you head up to Roros?
I might actually try and communicate with that person.
Radio. So are you like moving past them and just do a quick little thing with your hands, or are you doing it from a distance?
Yeah, I might just quick pass and do a little, you know, I'm not sure what you can, it's like, can you say anything?
Well, you could, almost, anything to do with what, these can. So you could do an introduction. You could do a thing from a general direction, like, so I'm from where, not the place, but like I'm from south of here, or I'm from north of here, or I'm, you can do general stuff like that, but you can also, it's more specific to the trade.
Okay. You said 250, right? Not 200.
250 weight. Yeah, 250 weight.
So 125. How much? And you said it. Okay. Cost in gold is what?
7 gold.
7 gold. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll just say,
I'm good.
Wandering west, looking for job. If that can be communicated quickly.
Okay. Just give me a second. I'll see what his reaction is. What's your charisma?
My charisma is 12.
12. No bonuses?
No, just straight 12.
Okay, but I'm just, hang on, I'll look in the players. Like, sometimes you get a percentage increase in reaction, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure the 12 gets you there or not. 12, charisma, normal. Okay. Okay. He's a little bit surprised, but he sort of gives you a direction and like your time limit of like, meet me here in a couple of minutes. And he gives you where he's meeting you. You can sort of scan it. It is slightly out of the way. It's not like down a dark alleyway where you can get ambushed or anything, but it is a slightly out of the way place where you can perhaps converse a little bit more freely.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do so.
Okay. After a few minutes, he comes from a different direction and he meets you there. He just sits down and he's got a apple which he cuts in half and shares with you.
Oh, cheers.
And he's just doing the usual talking as if you're a friend of his, and you're just having a chin wag, just sitting on some boxes somewhere.
Yeah.
So as he's talking, he's using a couple of things, and he says basically he's wanting to know what your speciality is.
I'm a wanderer. I'd like to come in and then go out quick.
Yeah, but what are you? Are you a second-story burglar? Are you a pickpocketer? What are you?
I usually go buildings.
So you're a second-story man?
Yeah.
We might have a job.
Ooh.
Are you going to be here tomorrow night?
Maybe. I might be heading out to Rorus.
You got business in Aurora, so you're not going to get in there, eh? You're a human.
We'll see.
Don't even try using the trade to get in there. They have spells, they have protections, and they are very nasty with people who try to get in there who aren't invited.
I bet. Okay. I'll take your word on it, but since you offered me that information, I'll listen to what you got.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, he says, so what's your moniker you go by? So he's not talking about your name, he's talking about your professional name. Are you called the Fox? Are you called the whatever?
Light-fingered Larry.
Light-fingered Larry.
Tumble Fumbler?
Was he good with the fingers, eh, Thorin?
What's his name? No, if it was by that, it would just be general fuck up.
To be honest, I haven't actually.
Okay, you need to come up with something.
Okay.
He introduces himself as Colorado.
Okay.
So I need you to give me another D100, intelligence or less, if you recognize his trade name, his moniker.
There's no nomenclature.
You do. You know that Colorado is a well-known tradesman, as you call yourselves, from Jara.
Okay.
He's quite well connected in Jara. So what he's doing up here is very interesting, but you want to be careful. He moves in big circles.
A Jara man.
Mm.
Interesting that you're out here. Some call me the Silver Fingers.
Silver Fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he says, I'm aware of the Silver Fingers from south.
Mm.
I'm aware that Silver Fingers hasn't been heard of working much lately.
Yeah.
A little bit of an issue.
Yeah. There was some interesting business down south.
Mm, okay.
But I'm working.
You're working. So, and you're a second story man.
Yeah.
Well, if you can guarantee you're here tomorrow night, I have a job that could pay you well.
Yeah. Okay.
Rightio. So, meet me back here tomorrow after lunch, and we'll talk more.
Okay.
Right. Okay, you go away. So by this time, everyone's sort of gathering. You can see the group sort of gathering back, and Halt, you're starting to sort of lead the group up the hill. Is that correct? Up the mountain? Yep. Okay, so the road is long and winding, but relatively easy. It's quite wide, so when carts do pass you by, you're not like pushed off to the side or pushed over the side. It is a marvel of dwarvish engineering. There are several rest spots on the way. There is even a place where they have provided running water as a fountain, as water to refresh yourself. There's even roughly a third of your way along up a privy that's been used, that can be used. Yeah, so it's all in all a very pleasant trip. And as you travel higher and higher, you can see more and more of the land below you. By the time you get to Rhoros, it is in the late afternoon. It has been a hell of a climb. You are tired, and you are feeling it quite a lot, all of you. There have been parts where the incline has got a lot more steeper than you'd hoped for. Most of the early journey was a lot easier than the later part, and you can tell this too by some of the carts and that set out. They seem to have some sort of braking system in this latter part of the journey, which sort of, yeah, probably makes sense that you want to do that at the beginning, not at the end of a journey. So you start getting closer and closer. You can see the edge, and you can see the walls of Rhoros. And the walls of Rhoros gleam metal-like, sort of a cross between a gold and a bronze. And in the middle, where the road meets the wall, the huge, what's known as the Lion Gates. And at Golgheim, this is again where you see that image slightly different, but you see these huge tall gates of around about 25 feet tall by around about 20 feet wide to each one, so 40 feet altogether. These doors that are they go inwards, and they are sort of semi-closed, so you can sort of see both halves of them. So there's about 20 feet of width in the main of the road. And it is quite an awe-inspiring sight. The gleam of the there's no real sun on this side of the mountain now, so you're in mostly shadow, but you can see most of the lights being turned on. You can see that this is even though it's way up here, this is a well fortified place. Any one of you who's martial can see the fortifications, the battlements, the defenses. Thorin, you can even see what you think are probably either catapults or ballista.
Right.
So you guys approach the gates. It's sort of the road levels out around about 60 feet before the gates, and you realize that this part of the road, Tatwold, you'll recognize it straight away. This part of the road, should it need to, can be removed. It can be fallen away. So you'd have a 60-foot gap between where the road finishes and sort of bends up and more flatter. This part is an artificial road, if you like.
Right.
It's not a drawbridge. The whole road could be just removed, probably dropped.
I see.
On each side, you can see a whole cavern that goes down. That part of it looks natural and part of it looks dug, and it's a bloody deep thing. And it's got a whole lot of stalactites on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. So you sort of on the flat. Yes. Sorry, I thought someone said Steve.
No, I said nasty.
Yep. So you get roughly halfway across, and a group of very uniformed, official, uptight soldier types do approach you. 4 of them. They are armored in metal armor.
Right.
They all weld a polearm.
Stand aside and let the druid through.
These guys mean business. So one of them introduces himself as Sergeant of the Watch, Bruenor. We'll use old names. And he wishes to know your leader and your purpose for approaching Rhoros.
I'll introduce myself as a druid, and we approach in hope that one of my kin may be here.
He says, well, you're rather late for the... And he doesn't do it sarcastically, but you get the sort of thing that he's trying to be without being obvious. Whoa, you're a bit late for solstice, aren't you, Druid? It still carries enough respect, so he's not insulting you, but you can sort of get a feeling for his perhaps his sort of attitude.
Yep.
Probably another 5 minutes, Sid.
All right, I'm off then.
Yeah.
I'll catch all you guys later.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Cool. See you
Yeah, sure.
on Saturday.
Saturday. Oh, maybe not Saturday. I
Okay.
could be up to something.
Cool. That's just Jerry's thing. That's all. Okay, matey. Take care. Yep. So these guys, he says, and what sort of business would you have with one of your kin, one of your druids?
Purely wish to pass on a message for him to deliver back home.
So are you saying it's druid business?
It's druid business.
Okay, you notice a change in his attitude. Okay, so the one thing you've just learnt, as long as you can just state druid business, most people will leave you alone. But of course, it's got to be honest. That's the only problem.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, they sort of mouth a little bit. They say, then I will take you to a place where you can wait, and I will ask if there are any druids still residing in Rauros, and if so, I will send a patrol that can take you to them.
Thank you very much for your assistance.
He does ask for all your weapons to be handed over to his men, which will keep them within your eye shot.
Okay, but I'm going to turn to the others and ask them to bundle them all into a bundle, knowing that, especially Ames.
Yeah, there's one person who's probably not going to do that.
Actually, I was going to say, but I kind of forgot 2 minutes ago, that I was going to stay a little bit back from Rauros.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of big cities and things like that.
To be perfectly honest, I would just say...
They're still not letting humans in?
Is it okay if I send my companions to wait for me further down the hill, and I will just wait?
Totally.
I was about to say, you can wait here, you wanker. I'm not standing on the side of a hill waiting for you to get your shit done.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys retreat and
back down to the Stonewatch. Right. Thank you.
Yep. Even down to there if you want.
You're going to get about 2/3 down the road before it's nightfall. Just so you know, guys. Okay, so so you guys go how far down and home? How far down do you want to go before you stop and wait?
I wait roughly at the point where I don't think they're going to come and ask me for my sword.
Okay.
My sword.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Haim, so I don't have to give up my quarterstaff, and I'll just hang out with him.
Okay.
I'll go further down, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, were they taking us further into the fortress sort of area?
Oh, you'll be going in, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm handing over my weapons.
Okay. Rightio, so I take
This
it
is
everyone...
like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yep. So...
I'm playing the tourist.
Okay, so Health, Hrith, and Ongan go in. You are... you have 4 people that walk with you all the way through. I'll give you a description in a minute. The rest of you either start down the hill or wait around about 200, 300, 400 yards down the road.
Start down the hill.
Yep.
Start down the hill.
Yep. Get back to
Stonewall.
Stonewall.
Well, as far as you can, but you'll be traveling the night. Okay, so you go through the doors. The one thing you're impressed on is the scale of the buildings here. They rise from the floor and travel up into the air. These things look like they're carved from the very bedrock they stand on. That's such as the transition between what they've built and what they've sort of excavated. These are building spires, palaces. They all have that sort of dwarvish squatness, if you like, to them, but they are still extremely impressive. Some places are embellished with metal, with precious metals, gold and silver. Some places are embellished with minor stones like garnets and lesser things. Like, it is truly a fantastic place. And Freth, if that's you, Lincoln, I think that's you.
Yep.
You do notice some odd-looking buildings, which Ongen and Helt don't seem to really want to look at. They seem to have some statues of some dwarves of sorts, males and females, in front of them. Do you read Dwarvish at all?
I don't believe I do.
Okay, rightio. So you're not sure what those particular buildings are like.
I'll ask the dwarfs who are walking along. May I ask what those buildings are?
They're the temples to our gods.
Temples to your gods? Ah.
Yes.
What are your gods? If you don't
Yes.
mind.
This over here, and you get their interest. So one of them just sort of points to the biggest one and the most ostentatious one. That is Moradin. He's the Dwarven All-Father. He created the dwarves deep from the bowels of Mother Gaia.
I'll turn to and sort of roll my eyes and carry on walking.
Yep. And then he starts pointing out all the others to you.
Yep, I pay attention.
Rightio.
I thought Gaia was the only.
Yeah. So you see lots of buildings. They seem to be functional, but also quite beautiful. They all look extremely sturdy. There's nothing made out of either stone or marble or granite or gem or metal. That's all you see around here. Signs are the same. Everything is the same. It's all made of that. They also have, like in some of the bigger towns, they have lamp posts where they hang lamp lights. But these are quite powerful lamp lights. So, a normal lamp only goes like 30 feet diameter. These things go up to about 60, 70 feet. And they are slightly larger, but not that much larger that would give them that sort of bonus. So there's something in there that's different.
Something awesome.
You do see on a lot of the buildings runes that you don't understand. And I don't know if you want to ask them about that before you get to the building.
I'll be asking them about everything.
Okay, so those apparently are runes that their rune casters have cast on the buildings to, and this one here is protection, this one is strength, this one is wealth, this one is, so apparently they have this magic rune casting cast that you've not really heard about.
This rune casting, is it limited to dwarfs? Sorry if I'm offensive here, but
no, only the dwarves understand. Another great gift from Moradin, the All-Father, blessed be his name. Gave us the wisdom of the runes, and his good wife Frigga, or whatever her name is, I don't know. Frigga, I'm now using Norse, gave us the wisdom and how to use them.
Would your gods be offended if I tried to learn about them? I'm very interested in them.
He sort of laughs. He said, I don't know how you would learn because no dwarven runecaster would teach you, I'm afraid. No disrespect to you, but it is not something taught outside of the dwarves.
That is fully understandable.
And as you're approaching a building, he sort of shows you his sword, and it's got a whole lot of runes up the blade.
Wow.
And he said, this is a mighty cleaving blade that will take a head off any enemy. And he says it a little bit louder. As he said, any enemy. You're not sure whether he's indicating you or the druids or something else. You finally get to a place that you enter. It does feel a little jail-like, but it does have some windows that are open, but you're taking up several levels. You're sent to a room that's quite functional, and you guess by dwarven standards homely. There are a few little things that look like creature comforts, and that's where we'll leave it tonight, guys.
All right. That's cool.